What is going on, everyone? This is Ninja Geek here, and we are bringing you another Call of Duty Advanced Warfare gameplay here using what I believe is the best assault rifle class. It's good for, like, you know, kind of the laid back assault rifle, but it could also have some opinionative things to throw on here for some objectives, so I left it on the screen there if you wanted to see what was actually on the class and copy it, or, you know, because we're going to discuss this class right now as we get along with the video. So first off, obviously we're using the AK12 here. There are other good assault rifles like the BAL, or however you say that. That's a good one that I tested out, but this one I really do like the AK12. And I threw on, and first off, I used the iron sights on it, and the iron sights are okay. They're not, bad at all. But then I started using a red dot, and I found that it got better. And so I threw on this autofocus sight because it's an enhanced red dot, so why not? And the sight is actually, I like the reticle on it better, the default reticle better than the standard red dot reticle for the red dot sight. So why not just throw this on anyways? And the next attachment that I highly recommend, if you don't use a sight, you better use the microphone, the parabolic, however you say that microphone. It basically lets you hear suppressed enemy fire or see that on your minimap. So if anyone's firing a suppressed weapon, you can see that on the minimap. It's a very handy attachment. Now, speaking of suppressors, I don't know if I recommend a silencer on the AK12. It could be useful if you're using a stealthy class, but this isn't really one of those stealth classes that we're trying to aim for here. It's more of like a laid-back objective play style, so I don't really recommend putting a silencer on this gun. However, you could do as you please, but also what I would do is, if you're not playing an objective game mode, or if you are, whatever, I highly suggest throwing on wildcard 3 and putting on the stock and putting on the quick draw attachments for this gun to make it more like a better assault rifle, as you would say. And you could either take off the sight or the parabolic microphone, whatever. You keep one on, obviously, because you could only have 3 attachments. So that's what I think as far as the attachments on the AK12 go so far. So that's what I really recommend, and I think that you should use. Now, of course, on this class there's no secondary. There's no need to waste the points on a secondary when you have a very good primary. Some classes, like a sniper class, maybe you'll put on a secondary, but for this class, I don't think that a secondary is really needed all that well. However, you could see I'm using a Semtex. To be honest, I don't even know why I threw on this Semtex. Maybe because I was playing an objective game mode beforehand that I can't remember. But I have on a Semtex, and that's only good for objective game mode. So if you're more of like a team deathmatch player, take the hell off that Semtex and put on something like, maybe another perk, or maybe a kill streak that you like better, or better yet, use it on wildcard 3 so you could purchase another attachment for your primary weapon. That would be in better use rather than using the Semtex grenade that's really only good for objective game modes. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. Now we're gonna get into the perks here, and speaking of like Semtex and stuff like that with explosives, we're going to be running Flak Jacket. I always run Flak Jacket. Even in like Black Ops 2, I ran Flak Jacket. Just an amazing perk. I don't care what game mode you're playing, especially if you're playing some like objective game modes. Flak Jacket could really save you in some situations, but it works very well in basically all the game modes. You can't go wrong with Flak Jacket. So again, very good perk. The next perk that I recommend would be Low Profile, which is basically like the Ghost in this game, where you're off the UAV, and there was a couple other things that you're off from, but mainly you're off from the UAV, which can be pretty helpful because UAV is one of the lower kill streaks, and since this game just came out, that people like to run the lower ones. So Low Profile again is another useful one. Now this next one compares to another perk that I'm going to talk about in a minute, and this perk that I highly recommend, it's probably the best perk in the game so far comparing to Toughness, is Gung-Ho. Basically, it allows you to have a better running animation. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but when you run, you don't run in like a full run. You kind of like, you have your gun out all the time when you're running. You could see it here in this gameplay that I'm using Gung-Ho, but it basically makes getting into a gunfight very easy because your gun is always up, whether you're running or not. So either way, your gun is going to be up and ready for battle, it is a highly recommended perk, and I really highly recommend it on this class. Even though it's a laid back perk, or I mean a laid back class setup, I highly recommend Gung-Ho. And then of course we have Toughness on. Toughness has shown not to be the most superior perk. Comparing to the other Call of Duties, Toughness isn't as great of reduced flinch, but it still helps you win gunfights better, you know, because people are like hopping around and stuff like that. And then we have the Blast Suppressor, I believe, which takes off your, when you use your exo abilities, it takes off the ability to be shown on the minimap. So that's it for that. The score streaks, you could use whatever you want. I just threw on the UAV and the care package, but you could use whatever you want. Go aggressive, go stealthy with the UAV, whatever you please. And that is it for this video. If you did enjoy, leave a like and subscribe for more Advanced Warfare content on the way. I'm Ninja Geek. I'm out. Peace.